All right, these are some tricky problems. So here's a little help video for you. This is on the Solving Polynomials worksheet. We're going to head right to the back side to problem number 6. I got started on it already just to make things go a little quicker, but I'll explain how I got these. Question number 1, how many complex solutions are there? All you have to do is look at the degree. The degree tells me there's 3 complex solutions. Now, we don't know how many are real and how many are imaginary, so that's what we really have to dive into. First, figure out how many real, how many imaginary, and then obviously figure out what they are from there. So the first thing I'll do, to find the real ones, I know there's 1 real and 2 imaginary. The way that I found that is I went on my calculator and graphed it. So I went to y equals, punched in that equation. It's quite a lengthy one, so take a second, punch it in. And when I went and hit graph, I can see my real solutions coming through right here. Now maybe there's more off the screen. I don't know. I mean, but it looks like there's just 1 real, so I'm going to go with that for right now. And it looks like it's at the number 2. So I know there's a total of 3. On my calculator, I see there's 1 real, so that tells me that the other 2, because I need a total of 3, must be imaginary. I have to factor in just a second. So I saw that a 0 was going to be 2. That means one of the factors is x minus 2. All right, now we have to go fishing for the other 2, and this is where things get tricky, and I'm sure you're going to love this. But the way we do that is we dive into polynomial long division. So I have x cubed minus 4x squared plus 9x minus 10, like that. And I'm going to have x minus 2 on the outside, and we're just going to do the long division that we've always done. So right here, turn an x into an x cubed makes x squared. Multiply back for x cubed minus 2x squared, like that. Make sure we focus. Negative 4 minus a negative gives me negative 2x squared plus 9x. Drop this guy down like that. X into a negative 2x squared should give me negative 2x, like that. Negative 2x squared when I multiply back, plus 4x, like so. Divide it out, or I should say subtract it, and get 5x. Drop the 10 down, or the negative 10, like that. Last step is going to go plus 5. So 5x minus 10. I did do that quickly, so if you needed to pause it, that's fine. You can go back. But I just did it nice and quick because I think we're good with this part right here. Well, here's what this tells me. This tells me the factoring is, if I break this polynomial down, the factoring is this number in this, or I should say this polynomial in this one. So if I wanted to factor over the real numbers, this would be my factoring right here, minus 2x plus 5. I would be done. Now, we do have to find zeros out of there. So we're going to use our good friend, the quadratic formula, in order to get our zeros out of that thing. So here I have my 0 is 2. Now I have to figure out what the 2 zeros are here. So quickly, I'm going to throw this into the quadratic formula and go 2 plus minus the square root. Square root for 4 minus 4 times 1 times 5 all over 2 times 1. Use the quadratic formula. 2 plus minus over 2 the square root. Looks like this is going to be 4 minus 20, which would be negative 16, like that. So I get 2 plus minus 4i over 2, like that. The square root of negative 16 is 4i. Last thing I'm going to do is cancel a 2 out of each one. Cancel a 2, get 1. Cancel a 2, get positive negative 2i. And I've got my 2 imaginary solutions out of this problem. So my 3 solutions are going to be 2. Now the next one is going to be 1 plus 2i. The other one is 1 minus 2i, and I've got all of my solutions. Now, this is probably the best factoring. This is factoring it over the real numbers. If I wanted to factor it over the imaginary numbers, it's not terribly difficult. Maybe I'll just kind of put it right down here. You'd have your first factor, which is x minus 2. Now, for each one, if you want to make a factor, all you have to do is go x minus on your 0. So I'm going to go x minus this one right here. I'm going to call it 1 plus 2i, like that. Now, it's ugly looking, I get that. But to make factors, you just go x minus each one. X minus 1 minus 2i, like that, and you've got it. So this right here is factoring over the real numbers. This is factoring over the complex numbers, like that. All right, hopefully that helped and made your homework a little easier.